hidden within our planet's ocean, is another world. A place of wonder that the largest, most majestic creatures call home.
At the heart of this movie, of course, are the humpback whales themselves. We want to give people a sense of what they're like and what makes them so charismatic and intriguing. But the movie is also about the relationship between humans and humpbacks, and that's really at the core of it.
This film is really wonderful because it's all about celebrating the recovery of these magnificent animals. We hunted them almost to extinction 50 years ago, and they're recovering not just here in the North Atlantic and North Pacific, but over the entire world.
Even when the mother sleeps, the newborns don't stray far from mother's milk. But after a few weeks, the calves get bolder and they take off on their own. They're so curious and they've got so much energy.
We've learned so much about these humpback whales in the past 30 or 40 years that it was just time to re-celebrate, rethink, and mostly have a party because the humpback whales are coming to an ocean near you.
Oh my God. Big belly.
I'm amazed at their majesty and the size of them and the power of them, and hearing them breathe when they come up. It's sort of moving. It's so moving to see them. And the idea of seeing them on this massive screen and being the voice of that, it appealed to me very much.
Whenever we start out on a movie like this, we're starting from scratch. You know, I didn't know a lot about humpback whales to begin with, so we turned to scientists. And the scientists have been wonderful. They've been a part of this team throughout the process. And that's really what's enabled us to create an accurate portrait of the whales. But more importantly, they don't just correct the facts, they provide insight into the world of the humpbacks and into what's really important about them. So we owe a tremendous debt to the scientists for what they've contributed to this movie.
We live in a really wonderful time for studying these animals. With modern technologies and mineralization, we can actually benignly attach sensors to their body, like suction cup critter cam tags developed by National Geographic. There's also D tags developed by Duke University. These animal-born sensors or images can ride down with the animal and give us an incredible insight to what's going on underneath the oceans. Also, with our hydrophone arrays, or essentially microphones that we put underneath the water, we can hear these animals for dozens, perhaps even hundreds of miles. Satellites, communication systems, so there's lots of new technologies that have been extremely important for gaining insight into the lives of these magnificent animals.
They're the biggest animal ever to live on planet Earth, and they're alive today. They're bigger than the dinosaurs. And so it's always been a goal of mine to make a movie for the IMAX screen about whales, about humpbacks.
Males pursuing just one female. We think the males are vying for the prime spot closest to the female.
There's so many environmental stories that are kind of bleak and where that's mostly bad news. And here we had the opportunity to do a movie which is mostly good news. Because number one, they're extraordinary creatures. And number two, they are on the rebound. Their numbers have increased enormously. And that's wonderful.
The more people know about them, the more people will be aware of the threats that they face, and therefore be more careful and more observant about looking after them. And you know, particularly with whales, you know, we devastated the whale population. With whaling over the hundreds of years that we were killing them, and now we should be doing everything we can to bring them back, you know. And so I think making movies is an amazing way to do that.